this again. Okay, so what we've got here on this one is we're going to be looking at the cosine rule today, and we're going to be looking at how to solve problems with triangles. So this first problem we've had a good look at. It's a little tricky to understand what we're trying to do. We have two people, one is stood here, one is stood there, and they're on a shoreline. This is the important part. This is the shoreline here. So that's the shoreline. It continues like this. They see out at sea, so all of this is sea. They see out at sea this boat's at point C, and they're trying to work out how far it is from the shoreline. So when it comes to the boat's distance from the shoreline, that has to be drawn perpendicular to the shoreline. The shortest distance from a line to a point is along the perpendicular through the point. This is from Unit 1 coordinate geometry. So we need to find the length of this line that I've drawn in red, and that line is at right angles to the shoreline. Now the tricky part of this is we don't have the distance along here. We don't know where along the shoreline between A and B it is that we're looking for. So in order to solve the problem, we're going to have to use SOHCAHTOA. So in order to find this height here, we need to use SOHCAHTOA. So we're going to need to find one of the lengths of these sides. We'll find this hypotenuse. In order to find that hypotenuse, we need to use the sine rule. We can see that the only information that we've got is this, this length here, 20 meters. But we can't put that into the sine rule. Why not? 7.
Because it's not the actual, it's the full length, but it's not for the certain area that we're looking for.
Yeah, so we're going to use the big triangle. In the big triangle, it is this length. So that's all that we know. This is 20. Why can't we use this in the sine rule? Doesn't matter with the sine rule. What is important about the sine rule? You have to have the opposite angle. You have to have the opposite angle. So the opposite angle that we need isn't available. We need this angle here, which is opposite to the side that we do know. So the first thing that we have to decide is, in order to get any information out of this, we need to find the third angle. So the third angle C is equal to 180 minus 65 minus 42. What is that? Use your calculator to find out. Guys, 73. Right. So we can put up a sine rule now. We are after angle X. We're after side X. Which angle is opposite? A. So let's put up a sine rule now with the side and angle that we know and the angle and side that we want. So we can say that X over sine 65 is equal to 20 over sine 73. Have a go at solving this now using your calculator. I'll just pause and I want to come around and see it on your calculators. So what we're wanting on this one is we now know that that length over there is X is equal to 19.0 meters. So if this distance is 19.0 meters, we're after h. So how do we get h? SOHCAHTOA. I'll just do a little sketch of the problem because that one's getting a bit messy up there. So we have this as our triangle. We have this as 19. We have this as 42. And this is our h. Okay, so which one do we need? From SOHCAHTOA, which one do we want? Sine. So sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. We're after the opposite, so h equals 19 sine 42. What do we get there? Lucas? 12.7. Okay, verified by Kai. I'm good with that. Okay, so this is a typical problem-solving question that you're going to be getting on your exam. It's not obvious the pathway through it. It takes quite a few little concepts that we're applying to get there. Asha.
So, we don't use cosine. Isn't this type of cosine?
It is.
So why are we not using cosine?
One of the tricky parts of the cosine rule and the sine rule is knowing which one to use. That's about it. The purpose of this question, because the last class, Asha, I'm answering your question. The last class was a long time ago. So this is a review of previous knowledge before moving on to new knowledge, which is the cosine rule, which comes here. Okay, cosine rule looks like this. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because you've seen it in a previous course. So we're just going to, this is more of a review of the topic. You know it can be written in different forms. Let's have a go at using it in a straightforward question. So take out your formula booklets now and find the cosine rule. This one is the cosine rule. Find it in your formula booklets. So I'll just find it in mine. I got it here. So if you scroll down to geometry, which is topic 3, you've got the previous knowledge with all the area formulas. And then on the second page, on page 4, you find the trigonometry section here. And there we see 2 versions for the cosine rule. 2 versions for the cosine rule. One for when you're finding a side, one for when you're finding an angle. But if you're using NSolve, it doesn't matter which one you use. You can just start with your favorite one and always use that one and NSolve it. And you'll still be successful. So let's have a go. What we wish to do is we need to find all of the angles, find the angles of the triangle. Let's start by finding angle A here. So to find the angles, we have this version of the formula. So the cosine of A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. Watch this formula. So with the formula, if you're after this angle A, notice how A is different in the formula over here to everything else. A is subtracted, it's not in the denominator, whereas B and C are both added and they're both in the denominator. So capital A and lowercase a, they're different in this formula than everything else, and it helps you to spot that you're putting in numbers in the wrong place just by remembering that. So let's put our numbers in. We need 7 squared plus 12 squared minus 14 squared over 2 times 7 times 12. And if we want, we can take the inverse cosine of that. We can type this into our calculator. Type that into your calculator now. See what you get. So put up your own formula now for the cosine of b. Looking at the problem again, if we want to identify which side is which side, then any side which is opposite the angle has the same letter but lowercase, so this is A. This side here is B, because the side B, if you notice, doesn't touch angle B. So sides are named by being opposite to the side. So side A doesn't touch angle A. Side angle C and side C don't touch each other. So this one here is going to be C. So we need to put these into our formula here. We need A and C. So that's 14 and 7. A is 14. I'll put them in the right place this time. 14 squared plus 7 squared minus 12 squared all over 2 times 14 times 7. This gave us, was it 59? Yeah. 59.0 as well. Oh, that was C. I'm writing the wrong letter there. All right, let me get this one right. So we are using 14 and 7. 14 and 7, I am calculating B. 14 and 7. Sorry, can I have focus, please? Are we calculating B here?
No.
I think this is B. I think this is B.
Who said it wasn't?
I think it was. Yeah, this is B, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let's get C. How do we get C?
A squared plus B squared minus C squared plus 14 squared plus 12 squared minus 7 squared over 2 times 14 times 12, which equals K.
Or the easy way?
Just minus
180 minus the 2 that we have. We're never going to use it a third time. All right, thank you. C is going to be 30. All right. Let's have a go at this problem. So here in the problem, we've got to find the length CB. I'll give you 3 minutes to have a go at this one yourself. Okay. Let's have a look at our next problem. So with this problem, whenever you get a problem like this one, right? Whenever you get a problem like this one, ask yourself a couple of questions. First question, is it a right angle triangle? If it's a right angle triangle, you SOHCAHTOA. Is it a right angle triangle? No. Next, ask yourself this question. Try and use the sine rule. Ask yourself this question. Do I have an angle and side opposite?
Yes.
No. I do not have an angle and side opposite. If you have an angle and side opposite, use the sine rule, or attempt to use the sine rule. So at this point, I don't have an angle and side opposite. It's not right angled. Third choice is the cosine rule. So with this form of the cosine rule, we wish to use, this is side A, this is side C, and this is side B. So we want to use the form which is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of a. So let's put the numbers in now. We've got a is equal to the square root of 225 squared plus 290 squared minus 2 times 225 times 290 times the cosine of 72. Pop that all into your calculator. What answer do we get? 307? 307 will be sufficient because that's 3 significant figures. The units is meters. So here is our answer. Any questions on this one? All right. Have a go at exercise 2B. And we're finished there.